Yo, how you guys doing today? This is CS with DWP, and I have been making some changes, some life changes over time, and I found that I was following stuff on YouTube. It was kind of an epiphany. I was following stuff on YouTube and articles and in hip hop and artists and so on and so forth. I had bad leadership, right? So let's go on ahead and get it out the way. What makes a good leader? Well, a good leader is a good follower, right? But then a good leader also makes good leadership. You know what I'm saying? So if you're picking up bad habits, then you'll in turn develop bad habits. But these bad habits are going to be coming from somewhere. So in paying attention to my leadership, what I follow, right? I found that I was getting roped into bad habits. And this actually didn't happen until I unsheathed the cloth, unsheathed the veil that was put over my eyes, right? And this is when I started doing my investigation. It didn't start until I started my investigation into Mona. And that's when I realized that there was a flaw in what I was doing, and that's why I felt like I was moving towards a meta. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I just simply didn't understand the root of the mechanics because of what I was following. What I was following, and hopefully nobody else made the same mistake. What I was following was the limit. And what I mean by that was I was following the limit, right? And it has its place, right? But in hitting the limit, obviously with this, in hitting the limit, there are some hindrances there, and there's still so much more room to grow with, right? So what I am working on now, because Bennett's talents aren't up right now, I did a second dive into Elemental Mastery, right? Because I know I'm missing something in my gameplay, right? And something's missing. And I'm not actually using a said character to the best of their ability. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to be able to use Sucrose I'm just using this as an example. I want to be able to use Sucrose and main Sucrose for her still be extra effective. But I think before I do that, and this was the epiphany I had alongside Jean, was that in order to use Sucrose to the best of her ability, I think what I need to do is I need to solve her first riddle and then move through that riddle from there. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stacking as much of, and I'm only using her as an example, I'm going to stack as much of her stat on as possible and then adjust it from there as I see fit. Right? So, for example, with Jean, I think there's a more effective way. There might be, for me for me personally, there might be a more effective way for me to build Jean. And I had to understand what I was looking at. Because all I was looking at was the fact that this scales with attack. But that might not necessarily be the best stat. Right? So what I might actually have to do is actually run a healing bonus on this side. And then run animal damage. And then I can actually exploit the damage from this, but still be able to provide amazing heals. So I'm going to try that. But it's looking at, but basically what I'm saying is, basically I changed leadership. I had to find a new boss, right? I had to find a new leader. Because just because somebody might be in a leadership role, and this could go for whether you're in business or whether you're, seeking to be a musician, whether you're seeking to be an artist, a singer, or actor, there are mentors that you employ, whether that mentor may know it or not. And it dawned on me, give me one moment, you guys. So yeah, so I'm just in the. So basically, I just had to basically fire. Now, I don't want to say fire mentorship, but I had to let go of mentorship and re-employ a different mentor. You know what I mean? And for a period of time, and I'll take this character as an example. My mentor was always exploration, right? And this is how we ended up with the Raiden Shogun being in the state that she's in, which is fine. I mean, I'm happy with where she's at. I'm not like I'm not sad from where she's at. You know what I mean? I got the data that I wanted, and now I can make a decision based on what I've found. Basically, what do I want to do from there? You know what I mean? And once I found Hydro Sam and Lacola, and I went to use and every other person who plays Mona, and I found out how vaporize and reactions work, and I found out like how elemental mastery works because I'm coming from Geo, right? So the only leadership I had was saying that Bennett. They're all saying Bennett. But that was because of the information that I was digesting. So once I got Mona, and I think I explicitly said this, I said I can't wait to get Mona so that I can explore reactions. And once I found that there was a flaw in my thinking, that's when I realized that I'm not following a good narrative. And that narrative has to change. And sometimes you have to do what you got to do in order to find the truth yourself. So by changing leadership, I think it works out good. And that happens sometimes. You know, like, I'll give you an example. Like, in life, you'll hear this story all the time in particularly New York in the 80s, where people would see a guy driving a Mercedes Benz, but he's doing illegal activities, but they're seeing the spoils of what he does. And that's what they see. Right? So what I'm seeing is a big number, but I'm missing the actual steps it takes to get there. And that's where I start noticing the flaw. Because I'm getting surface level information, and I'm not getting a deeper understanding of why it's happening. So at the end of the day, I have to not get lost in this also. And I think it's wise that everybody else does that. But you have to choose your leadership, especially because, like, not everybody's going to get along with their boss, for example, right? And if you don't gel with your boss, you can, like, it's okay to not get along with your boss. What's not okay is to put up with your boss, even though your boss might be wrong. Right? It's up for you to know what's right and wrong. Right? So there's going to be, so basically what I'm saying is there's going to be a shift in what I'm going to be doing for my characters. The way they are right now, like, I'm happy with my Mona, and she is exactly the way that I want her to be. I just want her to have her own artifact set. That's it. I just need to get her art. Like, I like exactly how she is. She just needs her own set. The Shogun, I finally got the catch, but it has to get leveled up, and I got to do all the things with the catch and all that. So she's gonna be a while, because there's a bitter taste on the Shogun for me right now. But we'll figure it out. But until then, as you guys know, sucrose has always been a thing for me. So as of now, I'm going to be working on sucrose and Bennett. And then I'm going to be wrapping up Mona sometime soon. And then I hope you guys know there's a defense set that's going to be coming out. It's exactly what I said. It's going to give you defense. And then it's give you 30% defense, and then the 4-piece stat gives you additional damage based on the level of defense that you have. I don't know if I caught that from a mile away, but like I said before, I try to learn from the greats, and I didn't exercise that as much as I should have in the past. But getting back to the root of what I'm supposed to be doing, that's how I was able to make that call. I am supposed to be setting you guys up for success. If I'm in a role where people are relying on my words to speak truth, I made the call so that you guys can start preparing yourselves to look at the other options that scale with defense and maybe see if there's something you might be willing to exploit from that situation. Right? Made the call. It came true. The character is actually a 5-star character. And we're only getting that because of his Ultimates animation from the leak. So, but there is going to be a new domain coming out. Keep an eye out for that. And because the point of leadership is to set you up for success. And that's where I noticed I start getting roped into situations where that wasn't the point of the case, was to be set up for success. So I stopped watching some content creators, and I'm getting back into watching what I'm supposed to be watching, which is information that I can pass on, long story short. Wherever I'm getting my information from, I need to be getting it from a source where I trust that I can pass this information on, and I'm going to be making a change from there. But I think it's important that you pay attention to what you're watching, you filter what you're watching, you filter what you're hearing, and you just need to you need to have boundaries, and you need to put a filter on what you're engaging with. And so that change is going to be happening, and hopefully I was able to exhibit that change over the last few streams. And I just want to make some progress and make sure we're moving forward, and let's just get back to having fun on Genshin Impact and wait for this update to hit. For everybody who got chowed, I hope you guys are having fun with Tartaglia. But I just kind of wanted to put that information out there as far as leadership is concerned. You all are leaders in my eyes. And if you don't feel like a leader, you at least have the capacity to be a leader, because I believe everyone can be a leader. But to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. And if you're not a good follower, you would not be a good leader, because you don't know what it feels like from the standpoint of a follower. And not being able to relate, basically you're going to suck as a fucking boss. So figure it out, learn how to follow, and learn how to communicate with your leadership, and then you will inevitably become a good leader. I'm not saying that because I'm a leader. I'm saying that because I'm a good follower. I'm a good follower before I'm a good leader. And that's at least what I hope to impress on you guys in the audience. You know what I mean? So, just leave it right there. If you're getting at it with your boss at work, I'm pretty sure it might be a communication issue, unless they're just like that. But you can usually hash that out. And practice being a good follower, and over time, that'll make you a good leader. And the reason leadership is important is because in a leadership role, you are the one in control. And being in control of your own life is just as important as being in control of your work environment, right? So be the leader of your life, be the leader of your position in your job, be the leader of your family, and, just be the leader of your mind. Be that nigga, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to touch on that real quick, let you guys know that I'm going to be making a shift. So if my content seems like it's going to be a little bit different as far as what I'm saying or how I'm saying it, or some of the opinions or viewpoints that I might have, does this mean I'm getting the 4-piece emblem? Fuck no. That whole set can kiss my whole ass, because it brought more toxicity than joy. So fuck that set. But as far as everything else, yes, there's going to be some adjustments to some opinions. And the questions are going to be more rooted in even more research than they were before, even more. I want to make sure I'm definitely on top of that. I did learn a little bit more about how vaporized work and the gauge unit system, which is its gut, which is gauge unit theory, which is where this applies to, whereas this applies 0.65, so on and so forth. So, and how elemental mastery is calculated, and the tiers of them, so on and so forth, and how we can understand the mechanics and know why somebody was able to, for example, hit 2 million with physical damage versus 2 million with hydro, and know the inner workings of said mechanics so that you guys can be successful with the team comps that you guys want to employ. Sound like a plan? All right. I just wanted to get that out there, let you guys know that. And it was a really short podcast. It was really more like just a statement, and I'm feeling really good today. I hope you guys are feeling really good as well. And yeah, without further ado, this is, if you got anything out this podcast, this little short podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe. Just to see us in DWP, and I'll be hollering at y'all on the next piece of content. We'll be coming really soon, just a little busy over the next couple of days. And as always, keep your wig screwed on tight. And I'll be hollering at y'all on the next one. All right? All right. Love you guys. Peace. Woo!